If you struggle with periods from hell like I did, then sis, stay tuned because I'm about to rock your world. If you struggle with periods from hell like I did,
heavy bleeding, PCOS, fibroids, long-lasting periods, heavy clotting,
then sis, stay tuned because I'm going to reveal to you how I was able to heal my body in less than 6 months after 20 plus years of struggling. I mean struggling. I almost died, y'all. Let's get into it. And I'm back. So yeah, starting from the beginning, I started my period at the age of 10. I always had irregular and heavy bleeding, but it progressively got worse. And by age 18 in 2003, don't try to calculate my age because it's none of your business. I went in for my first blood transfusion. That was a very scary time in my life. I didn't know what was going on. They were saying, girl, where your blood at? It's not here. I was like, oh no, oh Lord. Doctors immediately put me on birth control to try to regulate my bleeding. It was maybe like a year or two that I was on birth control, and I was like, I don't like these side effects. Like it was just messing up my body. It was making me have like acne and weight gain and mood swings and all of that undesirable stuff, nausea all the time. Like I was like, am I pregnant? No, I'm not because I'm on the pill. Well, you know, sometimes that happens. But anyway, I mean, I got off the pill with no direction on what I should do to heal my body, right? So several years later in 2009, I'm back in the hospital for the same thing. Heavy period, bleeding profusely. Pretty much I was the woman with the issue of blood in the Bible. If you haven't read about her, go read about her. That was me. I am she is I. Yeah, so 2009 came. You know, I had my blood transfusion. I was like, okay, Lord, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Let me get back on these birth control pills because they were somewhat helping, at least to have like a slightly lesser period. But that didn't last long because, again, it was terrible for my body. So right before my last blood transfusion, y'all, I had 3. I've had 3 blood transfusions in my life, and I'm under 40. That shouldn't be. Anyway, I was bleeding for 2 months straight. Okay. I was bleeding so heavy that when I got to the emergency room, when I checked myself into the emergency room, they were like, your blood count is 4? Like, how are you alive? And I was like, oh, okay. Because I mean, I knew like my skin was pale, like my vision was blurry, like I couldn't, you know, look down and put my head back up without feeling lightheaded. I was having like kind of heart palpitations. Like it was wild. So anyway, so I bled for 2 months straight. And I'm not talking about like, I'm talking about I was bleeding so hard that like I had to use Depends. And I was still going through them Jones. Like I was still bleeding through. I had Depends, I had Super Plus tampons, nothing was working. So I go into the blood transfusion and they offered me birth control. I was like, no thanks. That's not the route that I want to take. So I got out of the hospital and somebody recommended me to this naturopathic doctor. His name is Dr. Clay Earl. If you're in the DMV area, hit him up. It's What You Eat Health Center. He is the bee's knees. Okay, so anyway, they recommended me to him and I was like, well, I'll try anything at this point, you know? I went to him and he was like, yeah, the birth control is just a band-aid, but it's a really bad band-aid because it's just adding extra hormones to your already hormonally imbalanced body. And so he put me on a regimen of herbs. He changed my diet, and lo and behold, within 3 months, my period started to regulate. I was brought back to life through diet and through herbs. So basically what he had me do, he took me off dairy completely because of all of the hormones that are in dairy. And he told me that if I was going to eat meat, then I should only eat organic meat. And then he put me on like a regimen of herbs. I will say to hit up a holistic doctor in your area, a good naturopathic doctor, and talk to them and get yourself on a regimen of herbs. Talk to an herbalist if you're struggling like I struggled. I started following the things he told me to do, and within 6 months my period was regulated. It was just like my life was completely changed with diet and with herbs. And I will do a separate video talking about different herbs that are great for regulating hormones and for womb health. That's definitely on the horizon, so stay tuned, keep a lookout for that. But I just wanted to share that, like, if you are struggling right now, sis, I feel your pain. I understand, and I'm here. I'm here with you. If there's one thing I want to leave you with, is change has to happen in your mind first. In your mind first. You have to become so fed up with what's been going on with you that you are desperate for change, that you will do anything. And at that point, that's when the healing can begin, because that's when you will make the hard choices, especially when it comes to diet. You're worth it. You're worth making the change for yourself. You're worth making the change for yourself. You deserve it, and you can do it, and it's possible to heal. So yeah, it's possible. I believe in you. Let's get free. We can all do it. Each one teach one. Holistic Life Princess out.